gentlemen, it's 3 p.m. Cairo local time for the hour's news bulletin coming to you from Nile TV International and Channel 2. I'm Lamia Abdesatar, and I'm delighted to be in the company of my very dear colleague, Lubna Yahya. Hello, Lubna.
Hello, Lamia, and hello, everyone. We're going to start right away with the headlines. Prime Minister Madbouli chairs a follow-up meeting of tourism activities in the Pyramids area. Minister of Foreign Affairs Abdelati heads for Chad in a visit to boost bilateral ties. And more than 20...
Two details. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli today chaired a follow-up meeting of tourism activities in the Pyramids area, meeting with the Ministers of Tourism and Housing along with the Giza governor and some investors. The Prime Minister invited a number of global consultative bureaus to lay a plan for the entire area. The meeting came in the framework of the state's keen interest in optimizing the benefit from Egypt's tourist opportunities and archaeological areas in collaboration with international experts.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and Migration Badr Abdelati heads today for the Chadian capital, Jamna, in a visit aiming to boost bilateral ties. The top diplomat will discuss enhanced cooperation with Chadian senior officials and will also engage in consultations over a range of regional issues of mutual concern. Abdelati will further meet the representatives of regional organizations and the Egyptian community. Accompanying the foreign minister will also be a group of businessmen and investors.
At least 23 Palestinians were martyred, including 5 journalists and more than a dozen wounded in Israeli occupation strikes on Gaza early today. 5 people were martyred and 20 wounded in a new massacre by Israeli occupation forces at a shelled house in Gaza City's Zaytun neighborhood. In a separate incident, 5 journalists were killed when their vehicle was struck in the vicinity of Al-Auda hospital in Nusayrat in central Gaza. Palestinian media and local reporters said the vehicle was marked as a media van and was used by journalists to report from the incident.
National Security Minister of the Israeli Occupation Authority, Itamar Ben-Gvir, visited today Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, triggering angry reactions from the Palestinian Authority and Jordan. Ben-Gvir has repeatedly defied the Israeli ban on Jewish prayer at the holy site in the occupied old city of Al-Quds, which has been a focal point of tensions in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The Palestinian Authority's foreign ministry, in a statement, condemned Ben-Gvir's latest visit, calling prayers at the site a provocation to millions of Palestinians and Muslims. Jordan, which administers the mosque compound, similarly condemned what its foreign ministry called Ben-Gvir's provocative and acceptable actions. The ministry's statement decried a violation of the mosque's historical and legal status quo.
Hamas movement announced today that the Israeli Occupation Authority had laid down further conditions related to withdrawal, ceasefire prisoners, and the return of the displaced, which has delayed reaching the agreement that was available. Hamas said that the Occupation Authority was to blame over the failure to conclude a ceasefire agreement despite progress reported in past days. The group added that it was showing flexibility and that the talks mediated by Egypt and Qatar were serious.
An expanded Syrian security campaign was launched in Syria's western province of Tartus in a follow-up of officials connected with former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's government. The move came a day after deadly clashes erupted in the province between operatives of the Syrian Interim Authority and elements of the former government, reportedly killing 17 people. The clashes occurred when operatives of the Interim Authority had sought to arrest an ex-officer of Assad's security forces in
An Iraqi delegation met with Syria's interim government in Damascus today. Iraqi government spokesman said the delegation led by Iraqi intelligence chief met with the new Syrian administration, adding that the parties discussed the developments in the Syrian arena and security and stability needs on the two countries' shared border. Meanwhile, Lebanon said it was looking forward to having the best neighborly relations with Syria in its first official message to the new administration in Damascus.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said today that the new leadership of Syria had called relations with Russia long-standing and strategic, and that Moscow shared this assessment. Kremlin foreign policy aide has said that Russia was in contact with Syria's new leaders at both a diplomatic and military level. On Ukraine, Lavrov said that Russia sees no point in a weak ceasefire to freeze the war in Ukraine.
Russia's Federal Security Service said today it had foiled several plots by Ukrainian intelligence services to kill high-ranking Russian officers and their families in Moscow using bombs disguised as power banks or document folders. It added that on December 17th, Ukraine's SBU intelligence service killed chief of Russia's nuclear, biological and chemical protection troops in Moscow outside his apartment building by detonating a bomb attached to an electric scooter. Russia said the killing was a terrorist attack by Ukraine, with which it has been at war since February 2022 and vowed revenge.
The Ukrainian military said today its Air Force had carried out a strike on a military-industrial facility in Russia's Rostov region over the past few days. It said that the facility was used to produce solid fuel for ballistic missiles used in Russian attacks on Ukraine. No reports of damages or casualties were reported.
South Korea's main opposition party said it will introduce a bill to impeach acting President Han Duck-soo today and hold a vote tomorrow, a move that could deepen the country's constitutional crisis triggered by a short-lived martial law. The opposition Democratic Party had threatened to impeach Han if he doesn't immediately appoint 3 justices to fill the vacancies at the Constitutional Court. The motion was introduced to Parliament today and must be voted on within 24 to 72 hours. It cited a range of actions by Han as grounds for his impeachment, including his veto of a special prosecutor bill to investigate alleged wrongdoings by the First Lady. Nepal is hosting its first ever international hot air balloon festival with 25 hot balloons from around the world participating in the 9-day event.
Although more than 2 centuries have passed since France's Montgolfier brothers made the first manned flight, ballooning can still capture the imagination. The details.
With Nepal's snowy Himalayan peaks as a backdrop, the sky above Pokhara transformed into a vibrant canvas of colors for the country's first hot air balloon festival. Hot air balloons from more than 10 countries participated in the festival. The balloons created a mesmerizing display against a stunning sight of the snow-capped Annapurna range. Balloons shaped as a rat and a frog were among those joining the fun, slowly drifting from the breeze. Locals took photos, played drums and danced to celebrate the festival. The event aims at promoting adventure tourism in the Himalayas and scheduled to end on New Year's Day. Tourism is a major earner for Nepal, which saw over 1 million foreign visitors this year after a post-pandemic bounce back, and investments are being made in hotels and airports to cater to travelers. Nepal's Civil Aviation Authority issued a notice for the skies over Pokhara for a duration of 9 days to allow balloon flights. The concept of international air balloon festivals isn't new. The Festival of International Balloon Fiesta, first held in the United States in 1972, sees about 500 hot air balloons flying annually in New Mexico, attracting over 1 million tourists.
Moving forward with the economy news, Egypt's bourse turned lower at midday transactions amid foreign investor sell-offs against local and Arab investor purchases. The market capital of listed companies reached 2.1 trillion Egyptian pounds amid an average trading of 2.5 billion Egyptian pounds. The benchmark index EGX 30 dipped 0.14%. The equal weighted indices EGX 70 and EGX 100 fell 0.16% and 0.18% respectively.
Oil prices edged higher today in thin post-Christmas holiday trading, driven by hopes for additional fiscal stimulus in China, the world's biggest oil importer. U.S. benchmark crude oil was up 27 cents at $70.37 per barrel, and Brent crude, the international standard, picked up 24 cents to $73.31 per barrel. As for the precious metal, spot gold ticked 0.5% higher to $2,620 an ounce.
In the world of sports, defending champions الأهلي will go head-to-head with المصرية of Port Said tonight in the Egyptian Premier League 6th round, seeking to claim a crucial victory and to place on the top of the tournament's table. The Cairo Giants enter the hard game with 8 points in the 4th place after 2 draws, while المصرية hope to regain the top of the league table after a remarkable performance this season under coach Ali Maher. المصرية sit 3rd with 11 points behind Al Zamalek on a goal difference.
Liverpool will clash with struggling Leicester City tonight as the Reds seek to strengthen their hold on the Premier League top spot with an extraordinary 6-3 victory at battered Tottenham Hotspur. Also second-placed Chelsea host Fulham, while in-form Arsenal will fancy their chances against relegation-threatened Ipswich. Tomorrow, Liverpool are top the table on Christmas Day for the first time since the 2020-2021 season and will want to make it count. They are 4 points clear of Chelsea with a game in hand. By this, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our bulletin. I'm Lamia Abdesattar, and I was delighted to be in the company of my colleague, Lubna Yahya.
Thank you, Lamia. Thank you, everyone, and have a good afternoon.